Welcome to Tomorrow's World Today, a show dedicated to the discovery of innovation and cutting-edge technology. We showcase the latest developments from the greatest companies and smartest people in the world. Tomorrow's ideas are out there. And through our journey of inspiration, we will create a plan for the park of the future. This is Inventionland World Headquarters. Here now is George Davison.
Stuart, we need to get this robot finished. How much longer is this going to take? Inventionland Institute needs this robot.
We're making pretty good progress, but we still got a while to go.
Well, I hate to tell you this, my friend, but you're going to have to fail faster or we're going to miss another whole school season.
Hey, Stuart. Hey, George.
Hey.
Tomorrow?
Oh, is this a new robot?
It is. This is our new teacher's assistant. We were over at the schools that are running all of our inventing labs, and we noticed the kids kept asking standard questions that actually a robot could help them with. So this is our new robot. There's no name yet for him, but hopefully what we're gonna see one day are kids coming up to the robot and saying, hey, robot, what would be the X, Y, and Z setting for me cutting a 1/4-inch thick piece of styrene in the laser cutter? And then the robot will respond with, you know, boop, 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 and it'll say, oh, the setting for X, Y, and Z is what it is. And then the child can go over and plug it in and get the cut.
Is it gonna answer in that voice?
It might.
Well, I better get to electronics. I got a lot of work to do still.
Thanks, Stuart.
Bye,
We'll see you.
Stuart. Well, this is super cool. My only question is, do you think that kids will actually feel comfortable using this as a resource?
Well, we haven't proven that yet, but we do know in industry there are other beings that are going up to robots and interacting with them.
I know that twinkle in your eye. You've got a mission for me, don't you?
You're right, I do. You're gonna be heading off to cow country, and you're gonna see cows coming up to robots to get milked. It's all the way up in Bad Axe, Michigan, top of the thumb.
I don't know what the most intriguing word in that sentence actually is. Cows, robotics, or Bad Axe?
It's gotta be Bad Axe.
It's gotta be Bad Axe. George knows I love going on discovery missions, but with this trip in particular, I'm gonna get the opportunity to live out a childhood fantasy of mine. When I was a kid growing up in suburban New Jersey, I went through this phase where I was obsessed with the idea of living on a farm and dreamed of milking Betsy, my imaginary pet cow. Now, the dairy industry today is way more complex than when milk went right from the cow to the cup. So today, I'm here at Sheridan Dairy to begin my exploration of the science and sustainability of modern milking. But mostly, I'm just really excited to meet some cows. Oh my gosh, what is this?
How do you like our robot?
Oh, hi, you must be Ashley.
Hi.
Hi, and
I'm Eric. Nice to meet you.
well, I hope you guys don't mind that I kind of snuck into the barn while I was waiting for you.
No, we're excited to have you here, and we can't wait to show you the rest of the robots on the farm. We're gonna show Tamara all about how we help keep our farm sustainable by using technology. Well, we're excited to introduce you to our astronaut.
Wait, you're astronaut? I never expected to meet an astronaut on a dairy farm.
Astronaut is the name brand of our automated milking system, otherwise known as a milking robot.
A milking robot.
The milking technology has made our lives a lot easier and allows us to spend more time with our family, our 2 young daughters.
Tell me a little bit about how these robots work. Like, what am I seeing right here?
In the milking process, the cows walk in the robot, they get their teats disinfected and their teats brushed, and then using lasers, the robot attaches each cup to the teat. It tracks the milk flow, and once it gets down low enough, it'll actually take each cup off. It sprays it with a disinfectant, and then it lets the cow out. And the whole time, while the cow's getting milked, it feeds them pellets, which are like their little treats.
So the robot can actually tell when the cow is ready for milking. Is that done by the lasers? That's part of the scan?
No, they each have a unique tag on their neck, and that reads with an RFID reader, and it tells the robot each unique cow that comes in. In addition to that, the collars also have basically a fitness tracker in them, just like what you would wear on your wrist. So it counts their activity, it counts how many minutes and hours a day that she's chewing her cud or eating. which is a direct relation to whether a cow is happy, healthy, and content.
Question for you. Do the cows just kind of wander in whenever they feel like being milked? Like, how does that work exactly?
The cows can come in and they totally get to pick their schedule. If it's too soon for her to be milked, like if she just came in an hour ago and got milked, then the robot will just let her out and it says, nope, it's not your time.
This is like the lap of cow luxury.
That's our goal. We want happy, healthy cows because that makes really nutritious milk.
George, I am finding this utterly fascinating. This farm is amazing. So all that milk I saw flowing through the tubes with the astronaut, ultimately it gets collected here?
Yep, absolutely. This is our refrigerated tank.
So a couple questions about numbers, actually, before we get into the details about the tank. How many cows are here on the farm?
We're currently milking about 250 cows, pulling out 2,400 gallons of milk
2,400 gallons of milk?
every day.
Wow, you guys are very busy here. So tell me a little bit about how the collection tank actually works.
It's refrigerated because legally we have to get the milk down below 40 degrees within an hour. So usually our tank, we try to keep it at about 38 to 37 degrees all the time.
So all the milk is offloaded once a day?
Yep, every day. Usually the milkman beats us out to the barn and he empties the tank and then he's off for the day and goes to the processing facility.
You guys really have it all here.
We really do, but you haven't seen the cutest part yet. We have one last surprise to show you.
Oh my goodness.
It was a pleasure to have Tamara out on our farm, and it gave us great joy to see the smile that our animals brought to her face.
Spend some quality time with the cows, I'm excited to get a hands-on look at how the milk is processed, pasteurized, and made ready for retail, including how it's turned into chocolate milk. My daughter cannot wait to get the details on that one.
Tamara, I'm Regina Copera. I can't wait to show you Michigan Dairy, but before we get started, I need to gear you up.
I am always up for a fashion adventure.
Terrific. It was so fun to be able to show Tamara the plant. We started in receiving, where we took the sample off the top. Every tanker holds about 10,000 gallons of milk, which can be anywhere from 2 to 8 farms, depending on the size of the farm. Then we went into the lab so that she could see all the tests we run on that milk before we release it into any of our silos.
Talk about primo delivery service.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the milk that comes right off the trucks, right? This is that first step?
Yes, our testing actually officially starts when we start to shake our sample.
That gives a whole new meaning to the word milkshake. Do that a bunch of different times each day?
About 10 to 12.
That's quite a workout. And what's the whole point of the shaking?
To agitate the milk, to make sure that it's stirred up.
What is it exactly that you're testing for?
We are actually going to be testing for antibiotics.
Are these tests specific to Kroger, or are these standard across the industry?
The state and our facility do not allow any antibiotics to be in our milk.
So what you're testing for is to see if there are any antibiotics in the cow that have made it into the milk.
Yes.
All right, so now explain to me what you're doing right there.
All right. We take a pipette and draw up our milk sample. We'll place it into the strip where there's a foam pad in there that absorbs the milk. Close the test strip and close our incubator. The incubating process takes about 8 minutes. At the end of the 8 minutes, we remove our test strip, and we are actually looking at it for the results. If the control line is clear, it means that the test was invalid. If the test line comes up clear, it means that the test was positive for antibiotics. So now we will place it into our reader, which will read it for the antibiotics. Our test has come up as a negative.
So is this the final test here before it goes out to the rest of the plant?
No, we have a few other tests that we still need to run. We are going to spin it in our centrifuge. We are going to place a slide underneath our microscope, do a DMC, or direct microscopic count. We produce grade A products here, and grade A products cannot have water added to them, and we test for water by placing a sample in our cryoscope.
It's really reassuring to know that there's all these safety checks along the way.
Thank you, Kevin. Tamara, you ready to see the next step of the process?
Absolutely, I'll follow you.
From there, we went into processing and how important it is for us to make good quality milk every single day.
You're the guy to talk to find out more about the processing.
Yes, I am.
Can you give me an overview of the process?
Well, once the raw tank is released from our milk receiving area, it comes to our separator, which in turn makes skim and cream.
Okay.
After that, the skim goes to a skim raw tank. Our cream goes to a cream raw tank.
And then where does the milk go?
It goes through our short tube for 15 seconds, and that's where it kills all the bacteria at the high temperature. And then it goes through the steam section for that short time through the tube, goes through a regen section, and then that goes to our cooling section. And then from the cooling section, it goes to a pasteurized tank for whatever we choose to make that day.
What's really the end goal here?
Safety is my concern. That's the main thing.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to explain this process to me.
You're welcome.
Next is bottling, right?
Yes.
Okay, can you bring me back to Regina so she can show me there?
Yes, I can.
Awesome, thanks.
Sure.
Hey, George.
Hey, Tamara, how are things going in Michigan?
Well, I'm right in the middle of my tour of the dairy plant, but I ducked out for a quick sec so I could check in.
Hey, thanks for doing that. Things on the farm go okay?
The farm is great, and you're right. Robots are indeed taking over the world, slowly but surely, or at least the Kennedy family farm. I've got to get back in there, so I hope it's okay. I just wanted to quickly check in.
Oh, that's fine. Why don't you get going? I've got to get down to the ideation lab anyway, but thanks for calling in.
Sure thing. Happy inventing.
All right, have fun out there.
Bye, George.
I absolutely think Tamara was impressed with the process to provide our Kroger customers with the best milk possible.
Cheryl can show you how we get the bottles ready to go to the stores.
Awesome. Tell me why we have 4 different bottles here. What exactly are we testing for?
2 of them we put in our shelf life cooler for a 7-day SBC plating that we do, and the other one is for taste testing. So we run it till the end of the code date, and we'll taste test it to see if it's still fresh milk. This is testing our butter fat to make sure it is 2% and ready to go to the store. And the fillers will start running the milk.
So to make sure I understand properly, they bring these essentially as prototypes of the batch that's about to be bottled up, and you make sure we get the milk we think we're getting.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for walking me through all of this. I'm gonna go track down Regina. She promised she'd find me some chocolate milk.
Sounds good.
All right.
Have a good one.
From there, we went into filling, where we could show how the milk gets put into each bottle. And of course, we stopped in blow mold, where we watched how the bottles are being made. As the bottles are blown, each bottle has excess both at the neck and at the bottom. We regrind every single one of those, and it's used to produce new bottles. This is another way Kroger dairies are able to do zero to landfill. We reuse all the bottle parts.
This is Kroger's delicious chocolate milk. I finally get to show it to you.
My daughter would be freaking out if she were here right now. It's nice to finally be back work and hear you a little better. It's also cold, but I would expect that since we're dealing with dairy.
That's right, because you know our cooler is always between 35 and 37 degrees, and I know you were cold in there, but that's how we make sure to take care of the milk.
Seeing all that you do here really makes me feel much more confident about walking into that store and grabbing that jug of milk. Now I'm gonna head to HQ so I can get the corporate POV on all of this, and then hopefully I'll end up being able to spend some time at an actual Kroger so I can see the final step in the process.
I hope you do, and don't forget to buy that delicious Kroger chocolate milk while you're at the store.
And some cookies.
Hey, Kyle, we have Tamara for you.
Great. Hi, Tamara. Welcome to Kroger.
It's so nice to meet you.
So you've been to the farm?
Yeah, I've
Yes.
been to the farm, and I had a great visit at the processing plant.
Great.
I wanted to come see you to get more of a corporate perspective on this industry. I thought maybe we could start with a little bit of the history of Kroger.
Yes, so Kroger started in 1883.
Wait, hold on. Did they even have refrigerators in 1883?
Yes, I believe that there were.
Okay.
So we were able to vertically integrate our production and our retail. So we began to sell baked goods, meat, as well as dairy, and coffee in our own stores that we produce in our own plants.
So you guys are a really big company. I'm curious about what sustainability efforts you're involved with.
So we are so excited because in 2020, all of our manufacturing sites, all 35 sites, will be zero waste.
So what exactly does zero waste mean? Because that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people.
Zero waste means 90% diversion from landfill.
So 90% of the items that would normally go to a landfill instead are being reused, reduced, recycled.
Yes, exactly, something that we are very proud of.
George, you know I love it when a corporation finds a way to put sustainable efforts right at the forefront of what they're doing. Shopping today is a completely different experience than back when Kroger was founded in 1883, and I'm guessing it's gonna continue changing. What can we expect?
Tamara, you want to know when the robots are coming, don't you?
I mean, if this guy showed up on my doorstep, I might be a little nervous. Although, if he's got milk and cookies, then I'd invite him on in.
So we don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you that we are accelerating all of our resources to understand more of what the customer wants, whether it's more digital, whether it's more home delivery, whether it's more in-store pickup. We are putting a lot of efforts behind understanding how consumers want to shop and what consumers want.
Do you think that the store is always gonna have a place?
I think as long as there's an experience that we can offer the customer, we will always have our stores.
Well, speaking of that store experience, I would love to complete my journey with one. Do you think you could set up a store visit for me?
Well, I'd be happy to. And you can see where it all happens from a merchandising perspective.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's been great chatting with you.
Kroger means so much to me. I've been with Kroger for 16 years. So I have learned how important food is to people and how we have to be right each and every day, whether it be selection, whether it be price, whether it be our offerings on the shelf. And it's so fascinating to understand what our customers want and try to meet to that demand.
It's great to finally meet you.
Hey, Rachel, you too. I knew you were Rachel because of your name tag. So I've been following the process of milk all the way from cow now to this final stop, and I'm excited to see what's next.
It's incredible. I can't wait to show you. Let's take a walk.
All right, I'll follow you.
I'm so excited to show Tamara around the store today, our fresh milk, our great store, and our great customers. So I figured we'd come down the cereal aisle, given we're talking about milk today.
That makes perfect sense. I have an 8-year-old daughter, and she is finally at that stage where she will wake up in the morning, before we do, get up, go to the fridge, grab the milk, and pour herself a bowl of cereal.
My gosh, I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I can't wait until they can pour their own glass of milk.
Don't worry, there is more sleep coming, although we still have a couple of years.
My kids are huge milk lovers. From the time they wake up to night, they would drink it all day long.
Oh, wow, wait a sec. Are these the new containers that I saw at the plant?
Yes, 10% less plastic.
What other sustainability efforts is Kroger involved with?
No, we're really committed to our community and our social impact on the environment. We call Zero Hunger, Zero Waste.
It must be really neat as a working mom to be able to set that example for your kids.
It's a great example where we're eliminating waste and ending hunger right in our communities.
Very cool. Okay, so since I have you here, I've got to ask you a couple of supermarket secrets. Be honest with me, how long does this milk really stay on the shelves?
You know, we order it fresh every day. We fill our shelves throughout the day, and we have a 10-day freshness guarantee.
What does that mean exactly?
10 days from the time that you buy it to enjoy it.
Okay, so wait, you're telling me that if I buy some milk, I bring it home, and within those 10 days it spoils, I can bring it back and you'll replace it, no questions asked?
Absolutely. Working in the grocery industry, I've learned a lot about milk. Here's a fun fact. Keeping milk in the door actually lessens the shelf life with the temperature change with the door opening and closing.
Speaking of fresh milk, I see the chocolate milk.
All of our Kroger milk is made local.
I think you just helped me find my gift from my boss. I always try and bring him something from my travels. George, you better have my plate of cookies waiting for me, because I got some nice fresh chocolate milk for you.
Let me get this for you.
Thanks. All right, good to go.
Hey, there's my dairy farmer. Well, how was it?
George, I had no idea how easy it is to milk cows.
You milked a cow?
No, I did not milk a cow. The robots milk the cows, and the cows love it. I mean, it's almost like a mini spa for them. They've got a robot for everything. Milking robots, feeding robots, cleaning robots. The cows come up to the robots whenever they're ready to be milked or fed, and they have sensors in the collars around their necks, so the robots know if it's actually time to milk or feed them again.
I like the idea of a sensor and a robot feeds you.
Well, I know I was a little concerned when you first set me off about the relationship between humans and robots, but it was really cool to see the symbiotic relationship between the Kennedys and their robots.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, I always believed that robots and people could live peacefully with one another.
You haven't seen Terminator, have you?
Oh, I love that movie.
Well, have you learned nothing from it?
Well, thanks for quenching my curiosity.
Sure thing. I also brought you back a little gift to quench your thirst.
Hey!
Chocolate milk from Kroger.
You've got my new invention on there, my milk spout.
I sure do.
But wait a minute, I didn't design it for young people like you. I designed it for like people that have arthritis and they really can't turn things very well. I'd love a glass of milk.
Cheers.
Cheers.